Well, as you can imagine, it's extremely exciting, but we receive years and years of training before we get to that point. So most astronauts describe themselves as very calm up to that point, and then when that rocket starts to accelerate and we feel the forces of that rocket accelerating faster and faster, we get very excited. I think I would add another module, having more and more space up here, always exciting. Right now it's about the size of a house that had about 5 bedrooms, so it's plenty of space for 6 people, but if we had more it would be even more fun. Actually, the only way that I would know that we were moving is when I look out the window and I see us traveling over the Earth. But if I don't look outside the window, the space station is extremely stable and there's no perception of motion at all. But in fact, we're traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. Just like airplanes on the ground are helped by air traffic control to prevent them from colliding with one another. And where the international station is, and make sure that they deconflict that at all times, and if we ever needed to perform a maneuver, we can fire thrusters and change our orbit slightly to avoid a collision. My home planet. It's such a beautiful planet. But the concerns I do have is that when I do look down at the Earth, I can see evidence that we as human beings do have an impact on our planet that we can see from space. There's clear evidence when we look down at it. Well, certainly the planet that we see best is Earth. It fills the windows that we look out. But we also see the Moon, which is a satellite, of course, of the Earth that we can see occasionally. But one of my crewmates was able to pull out binoculars, and we were able to look at Jupiter recently, and without looking through the atmosphere, it's much clearer with much less powerful binoculars, and we were even able to see the moons of Jupiter orbiting around it. Well, we are actually growing plants right now on board the International Space Station. We're growing mustard greens, and we would be interested in growing anything that we could potentially eat, which would be a very important capability for us to go deeper and deeper into space and eventually go on to the Moon and to Mars to provide fresh food for astronauts that are in space for a long period of time.